In 3 days, a deadline closes that 42 million American seniors do not know about. After March 31st, you will not be able to make a single change to your Medicare Advantage coverage until October 15th. That is 6.5 months from now. And here is what nobody is telling you. There is one specific situation where making a change before that deadline could actually cost you more money than staying put. I will tell you exactly what that situation is before this video ends. If your plan has been quietly raising your costs, dropping your doctors, or changing what medications it covers, this window is your only chance to fix it before you are locked in for the rest of the year. My name is Mark Calloway. Every week on this channel, I cover the financial rules and deadlines that the government does not explain clearly enough. The ones that cost seniors real money when they are missed. And this one, the Medicare Advantage open enrollment period, is one of the most overlooked deadlines in all of Medicare. Most seniors on Medicare Advantage have no idea this window even exists. The insurance companies certainly are not reminding you about it. So let me tell you exactly what this window is, who it applies to, what you can do before it closes, and most importantly, whether you should do anything at all. Medicare has two main enrollment windows that matter every year. The first is the big one, the annual enrollment period that runs from October 15th through December 7th. That is when anyone on Medicare can make major changes to their coverage for the following year. Most people have heard of that one. But there is a second window that most people do not know about. It is called the Medicare Advantage Open Enrollment Period. It runs every year from January 1st through March 31st. Today is March 27th, 2026. You have 3 days left. Here is the critical thing to understand. This window is not for everyone on Medicare. It is specifically for people who are already enrolled in a Medicare Advantage plan, also called Medicare Part C. If you are on original Medicare, meaning traditional government Medicare, this particular window does not apply to you in the same way. But if you have a Medicare Advantage plan through a private insurer such as Humana, United Healthcare, Aetna, Blue Cross, or any other company, pay close attention because this affects you directly. During this window, you can do one of two things. You can switch from your current Medicare Advantage plan to a different Medicare Advantage plan, or you can drop your Medicare Advantage plan entirely and go back to original Medicare. You get one change, just one. And whatever change you make takes effect on the first day of the following month. So if you make a change before March 31st, your new coverage begins April 1st. After March 31st, if you are on Medicare Advantage and you want to make a change, you will have to wait until October 15th when the annual enrollment period opens again. And any change you make during that window would not take effect until January 1st of 2027. That is 9 months from now. So the question you need to be asking yourself right now is this: has anything changed about your Medicare Advantage plan since January 1st that is causing you problems? Here are the most common situations where making a switch before March 31st makes sense. The first situation is your doctor left your network. Medicare Advantage plans use networks, meaning they only cover you fully when you see doctors and hospitals that are in their approved list. If your primary care doctor, your cardiologist, your orthopedic surgeon, or any specialist you rely on regularly has left your plan's network since the start of the year, you may be paying significantly more out of pocket than you expected. That is a legitimate reason to switch plans. The second situation is your prescription drug costs changed. Medicare Advantage plans that include drug coverage, called MAPD plans, can change their formularies, meaning the list of drugs they cover and what tier those drugs are placed in. If a medication you take every month moved to a higher tier, your monthly cost for that prescription may have jumped significantly. If you are paying more for your medications than you anticipated when you chose this plan, comparing other plans before March 31st could save you hundreds of dollars over the rest of the year. The third situation is your premium or out-of-pocket costs went up more than you realized. Sometimes people allow their existing plan to auto-renew at the end of the year without carefully reviewing the new terms. Your plan may have increased its monthly premium, raised its deductibles, or changed its out-of-pocket maximum for 2026. If you are now paying more than you budgeted for, this window gives you one opportunity to course correct. The fourth situation is you enrolled in a Medicare Advantage plan at the end of last year and you now realize it was the wrong choice. Maybe you were influenced by advertising for extra benefits, such as dental coverage, vision, or grocery cards, and the plan you signed up for turned out to have a narrow network or high cost for the services you actually use. The Medicare Advantage open enrollment period exists precisely for this kind of situation. It is your one do-over opportunity each year. Now, let me tell you what you cannot do during this window, because this is where people get confused. You cannot switch from original Medicare to a Medicare Advantage plan during this window. That direction of switching is only available during the annual enrollment period in the fall. You cannot make changes to a standalone Medicare Part D prescription drug plan during this window unless you are also making a change to your Medicare Advantage coverage. And you can only make one change. If you switch to a new Medicare Advantage plan and then change your mind again before March 31st, you cannot make a second switch during this window. Here is what I want you to do right now if any of what I just described applies to your situation. Step 1, go to medicare.gov and use the Medicare Plan Finder tool. It is free, it is run by the federal government. You enter your zip code, your current medications, and your preferred doctors. And it shows you every Medicare Advantage plan available in your area, along with the estimated annual cost based on your specific situation. This is the most important tool most seniors never use. Step 2, when you are comparing plans, do not just look at the monthly premium. The premium is what the insurance company wants you to focus on, because a low premium can hide high out-of-pocket costs, high deductibles, and narrow networks. Look at the total estimated annual cost the Plan Finder calculates for you based on your actual medications and health needs. That number is far more meaningful than the monthly premium alone. Step 3, check the network. Before you switch to any plan, call your most important doctors, your primary care physician, and any specialists you see regularly, and ask them directly whether they accept that specific plan. Do not assume. Plans can list doctors as in-network on their website, and that information can be outdated. A 2-minute phone call to your doctor's billing department can save you months of coverage headaches. Step 4, if you decide to make a switch, do it through the official Medicare website or by calling 1-800-633-4227. That is 1-800-Medicare. Making the change through official channels gives you an additional protection in 2026. If you were given incorrect network information through Medicare's official platform, you will be granted a special enrollment period to correct the mistake. You do not get that protection if you enrolled through a third-party broker or insurance agent's website. Step 5. Here is the situation I told you about at the beginning of this video. The one where making a change could actually cost you more money. If you are considering dropping Medicare Advantage entirely and going back to original Medicare, there is something critical you need to understand first. Original Medicare does not cap your out-of-pocket costs the way Medicare Advantage does. To get that protection with original Medicare, most people add a Medicare supplement plan, also called Medigap. But outside of specific protected enrollment windows, insurance companies in most states can refuse to sell you a Medigap policy, charge you more based on your health history, or require a waiting period for pre-existing conditions. If you drop Medicare Advantage and go back to original Medicare without being able to get a Medigap policy, you could be exposed to unlimited out-of-pocket costs for the rest of the year. That is the mistake that costs seniors thousands of dollars, and almost nobody warns them about it. Before you drop your Medicare Advantage plan, call your state health insurance assistance program, known as SHIP, and speak with a free counselor who can tell you whether you can get a Medigap policy in your state. The SHIP number for your state is available at shiphelp.org. This call is free, and these counselors have no financial interest in which plan you choose. They work for you. Now, here is the most important thing I can tell you. If your Medicare Advantage plan is working well for you, if your doctors are in network, your medications are covered at reasonable costs, and you have no complaints about how your claims have been handled, do not make a change. Switching plans resets your out-of-pocket spending for the year. If you have already paid toward your current plan's deductible in the first 3 months, switching now means starting that count over from zero under a new plan. That can cost you more than staying put. The goal is not to switch. The goal is to make sure you are in the right plan for your actual situation. If you are, stay there. But if your doctor left, if your drug costs jumped, if you signed up for the wrong plan last fall and have regretted it since January, you have 3 days. Go to medicare.gov/plan to compare or call 1-800-6334-227 3 days.